Well, that was my question to you, John. Why would people not support what you do? I mean, you've had you're making such a massive impact. Why do people not support you more?
I think
Governments.
largely from the very, very first moment at schools, whether schools and childhood, you're almost trained to feel sorry for the poor. So you feel sorry for the poor. So if you feel sorry for somebody, you give something to them. In the Bible, it says it's better to give than to receive. You say, oh, right. So all the schools, especially middle-class schools, so they're all trained to think that the best thing on earth is to give something, give something that you got, give it away. The problem with that, when Tony Blair came into office in 97, in 98, he said at a conference, and I'll imitate him, he said, "We live in an age of giving." Like this, like as though he was a saint already. And he was all that kind of, hello. So he did all that, and I was outraged by this. So I asked the Guardian if they would give me a big space, so they gave me a page. And I wrote to Tony Blair a kind of open letter saying, "Dear Tony, if we live in an age of giving, does that not mean that we also live in an age of taking?" I said, "Do you know what it's like to take? Do you know what it does to you when somebody just gives you a handout? Do you know what it's like to be a beggar when the people who don't give money to you, you hate, and the people who do give money to you, you loathe? Why do you want to live on handouts?" And I challenged him to create a society where the giving was giving opportunity. Social entrepreneurism is about that. It's about freeing people up so that instead of creating one of another 500,000 charities, you start a business that employs people, that gives them work, like the many businesses that we've got involved in. A soap factory in Inverness, which takes in young people who have got physical and mental health problems, and they produce soap. So they get a job out of it, they get support out of it, they get comradeship and meeting with lots of other people. It's if your work, one of the greatest thing about work is the other people you work with. I was just coming through the tube there, and I saw one of the ticket guys, and he was talking to his mates, and they're all sharing a joke, and they're all, "I'm going home now, and do you want to come down the pub?" And it's because it's kind of solidarity. And that really lifts you up. If you're working somewhere where you get on with the people you work with, it raises your self-esteem. And this is what's happened in this soap factory, soap works. You get the people and they feel that they belong. They're not just somebody who is a social problem.
By the way, did Tony Blair reply back to you? Or?
Well, I saw him on so many occasions because, like virtually every government that's ever been in, for the first 10 minutes, they're in love with us because we reduce the amount of people who go to prison. We reduce the social security bill. When you see people selling the big issues, you know they're not shoplifting, you know they're not begging.